Bruce Lorincz, and this show is called Bruce on the Loose. We talk to people in city government and the school system and just about anywhere I really want to go. Lori Wilkinson is with us, and she is director of the Soprema Senior Center. Lori, thanks for being on the show again. Rich Berlin, associate principal at Wadsworth High School and also the president of the Older Adults Foundation. Thanks very much for your time. I imagine you have a few irons in the fire right now.
Yeah. Now the commencement's out of the way, some of the irons are out.
Lori, we're underneath the awning. Tell us now, this was just recently put in, wasn't it?
It was. It was built in one day on May 22nd. We're so excited because it is a rainy, breezy day and we are sheltered underneath the awning. We wouldn't have been able to do that before. And thanks to the generosity of the Wadsworth Older Adults Foundation and also a grant from the Hillier Family Foundation really made this possible, and seniors are loving it.
So it isn't just, nickel or dime. Some of these additions are pretty costly with labor and everything added in and inflation we have to walk through. That's actually really good for Soprema.
It is wonderful. And then the city partnered and did the electricity, and that has been just an amazing facelift to our senior center that's going to offer shelter to seniors from the elements for decades to come.
And not that long ago, you put a pavilion in. Off to our left is a beautiful pavilion with new seating and tables. And also, I noticed there were flowers around the pavilion. Wonderful.
That is correct. That was a wonderful donation from the Wadsworth Older Adults Foundation. Expanded our programming space, having that pavilion. It was built in late 2021 and has expanded that. Outdoor dining has become a thing since COVID, so for the Soprema Cafe, it allows space there. And then the beautiful flowers surrounding that, those have been donated by Bud and Bloom group, and their generosity. This is the second summer that the pavilion is surrounded by beautiful flowers.
It just sets that off, and it's really, people get a good atmosphere there, and they really enjoy meeting together, even when you don't have sponsored events. A lot of people use that, don't they?
Oh, it's used all the time, absolutely.
Now, what about the situation where the membership, you tell me it keeps growing, Seville, Rittman, Doylestown, they don't have formal places for the seniors to go, do they?
They don't. So we do fit a really great need for just seniors in the greater Wadsworth community. So that has been wonderful. Our membership is growing. We are serving the fastest growing population. Just in the first 8 days of June, we had 18 brand new members come through our doors to join. Word is out. Excitement about the cafe now being open is out. So just a lot of excitement.
And even communities like Norton and, again, Seville, you would think they're little bigger communities. They would have something, but they really don't have anything to match Soprema.
That's correct. So we have a senior center in Wadsworth. Is so fortunate to have such a wonderful facility for seniors. It's free for anybody to join, 55 or better, and that is made possible in great part from the Wadsworth Older Adults Foundation.
Rich, where do you get some of these ideas? I know you probably, it runs by your attention, and you probably put things into motion. Where do you get all these ideas?
You know, the foundation meets monthly, and we have committees that meet outside of those meetings. Those ideas come from a variety of people on the committee. Sometimes Lori brings them to us based on needs that they have here. But really, it's just about, we throw out ideas. We talk about them. We talk about what we think would fit into our budget, number one, but most benefit the seniors that attend the senior center. So that's how those ideas come about. And, you know, we've had a lot of them thrown out. We've talked about a lot of different things, and we've done a lot of different projects the last 2 or 3 years with painting in there and with the furniture in there, the pavilion, the awning. So we've had a lot of support from the committee, hardworking committee, and those ideas just kind of come from everybody, and we talk about them, try and do what's best.
With COVID kind of a little bit behind us, it's really good timing to get people back in the swing of things, to come back. A lot of opportunities here and all those improvements. It's certainly incentive to come back and get in the swing of things, isn't it?
Yes, and actually during COVID, we started having those conversations. there are some positive things that came out of COVID. We got the new system in there, the senior system that we use that Lori can send out the emails and able to contact people. And a lot of that occurred because of COVID, because we didn't have people coming here anymore. And when we were talking about things that we wanted to do in the future, we wanted a draw for when they came back, something for everybody to be excited about. And that's when we started talking about the pavilion and trying to get the pavilion done and the furniture and those things, because we knew that people were going to be ready to come back. And they were going to be ready to come back and visit and play cards and just do all the things that they do here. And we just wanted it to be something special when they did come back.
I know one of your big fundraisers is the 12 Days of Christmas. We've had Jim Dole on, as you know, before. What other ways do you raise some money for your projects?
Well, to be honest with you right now, we're in a situation where we are not looking for any fundraisers at the moment. Jim Dahl and that committee does an incredible job. They're making money that gets us through the year that we can tap into these big projects. We've tapped into some of the money that we have already had. So right now, we're not looking at a bunch of different fundraisers. And the 12 Days of Christmas, again, through COVID, we kind of changed that because of COVID. We knew a lot of businesses were struggling during that time, so we changed our format and we went to 12 days and we bought gift cards from all the retail businesses in our community and used those as baskets to give out to try and support the businesses in our community. So that was the big shift. And now that we're out of COVID and people are kind of back on their feet, they're really back to supporting us again, and we've kept the format the same. We want to support the people in this community and around this community that supports us, and that's how we do it.
Lori mentioned the membership does not cost anything. There's not too many things in our society today that is free and offers so many opportunities. I mean, that's mind-boggling.
Yeah, you'd be hard-pressed to find anything that's free that doesn't have something attached to it that's negative. But yeah, this is free. It's just a place where people come and gather. And, I'll pop over here often during the day or see what's going on, and Jim Dahl might be over here talking to people, playing a game, giving people a hard time, doing whatever Jim does. But this is a great facility, and we're just trying to do our best to make it better and do our part.
Lori, coming up, the facility will be here 10 years. Can you believe it's been that long since the Soprema has been established?
That is so exciting. So the senior center itself, we've been around almost 50 years, but we moved here to our current location from downtown Wadsworth in January of 2013. So coming up on Friday, June 23rd, we are going to celebrate being here for 10 years, celebrate all of the wonderful things happening. So it's going to be a celebration and open house. We're going to have an art show, different programs we'll be showcasing. We're going to have outdoor music live by the pavilion. We'll be utilizing indoor and outdoor space. The whole community is invited. Would love to invite everybody to come out on June 23rd, Friday, June 23rd from 11 to 2. It's going to be just a wonderful event. And also we'll be showcasing the Soprema Cafe. They will be offering lunch specials. Their food is amazing. They just finished their soft opening and last week released their full menu. They are now open 7:30 to 2 o'clock Monday through Friday.
Laura, I heard a rumor that if I would buy maybe a muffin, I could get coffee to go along with that at no cost.
That is correct. Now, I would not be able to enjoy that benefit because I'm not quite a senior member. I'm almost there. But any of our members, 55 or better, which is free to join with their member card with any purchase in the cafe, they get free unlimited coffee, and there's a couple other beverage choices as well.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. Now, Rich and I were just talking about new members coming in and the expansion and all the services you provide. What if they wanted to help some of his committees, do they have to be a member for 3 or 5 years to do that? Or can they, if they have some expertise, could they get on a committee and have some ideas themselves right away?
Well, we actually, the Senior Center itself has a wonderful volunteer program. So that is one of the best ways to get involved. Tammy Reddish, she is our volunteer and activity coordinator, and she's amazing. We can match, if anybody wants to get involved, there are so many different ways. And once we get to know them, we do want people's input and things like that. So there are so many possibilities and ways to get involved. But becoming a member and volunteering, that is the best way to start getting involved.
Yeah, no question about it. Rich, I think you're probably the master of the leaf collection in the city, and which brings me to my question about cooperation. It seems like the city, the YMCA, SUMA, the school district, there's no line of demarcation. Say, well, this is our territory, that's yours. It seems like that's a good remedy to get things done when you're all working together.
Well, yeah, all those entities work very well together, and all of those entities are people businesses. We're in the business of helping people, working for people, doing things for people. And then I'm a sports guy, so I like relating it to sports, to coaching, to teams. But when you have a team that really has the same goals, it's a lot easier to achieve those goals. And when you have entities that are people-oriented and we have the same goals and we want to do what's best for our community and their surrounding communities, then good things happen. The cooperation just comes naturally. And it's just a lot of good people. The people we sit down and meet with are just wonderful people. And all, the YMCA, the library, the city, just all of them are good people. And when we sit down and talk, we're able to talk things out, solve problems, and do what's best for our community, and especially seniors in our community in this case.
It also you're able with those various groups to kind of look down the road a little bit and plan. As you said, the pandemic helped you to go ahead and get some ideas about the pavilion and other things, maybe the cafe and other things. So it really is positive to look down the road and where we should be in a couple, 3 years.
Yeah, it is. And our foundation is all about supplemental support to the senior center. There are things that the city can't necessarily do. It's not within their budget to do it. They do a great job of taking care of our seniors and taking care of this facility. But when it comes to things like this awning in the pavilion, those high-ticket, high-dollar items, those are things that would be way down the road, I think, for them. So when we sit down and talk and we meet, and Mike Testa is a part of our meetings, he comes to our meetings and we talk about those things, it makes it really easy to plan for the future when you're working in conjunction with all the people within the community.
No question about it. Lori, you mentioned about the coordination with other groups. What about within the Soprema Center? Amy Rook-Smith and Tammy Reddish, you mentioned her a minute ago. What about the rapport between the three amigos?
So it is wonderful. We have our staff, Tammy and Amy Rook-Smith. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without our staff team. So since they've come on board now, both of them just about a year, a little over a year for Tammy, we have extended our programming. Our current newsletter is the biggest we've ever had in the history of the Senior Center, which is very exciting. We have a staff team that we collaborate, we can make things happen. Seniors love our staff, and very thankful for what we're able to do and move forward. And people wonder, how do we accomplish everything we do with just 3 people on staff? And we have professional friends who are a big part of what we do. They come in and they join and offer programming, they sponsor things, and then we also have our volunteers, which they are amazing. They, from setup to greeting at the front desk to running programs, we couldn't do what we do. We have almost 100 senior volunteers.
Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. What about down the road? Anything in the fall or thereabouts that we have to look forward to?
We have a lot to look forward to. So in July, we're going to be having a car show. In August, we have a Hawaiian luau planned.
Wow.
In September, we have a fall festival and talent show. So we are looking for seniors to be our entertainment, to have their little few moments of fame on the mic. I know one of the fall programs you're very interested in every year is the walking challenge. So that is coming up September 1st through October 31st. That grows every year, and we need as many seniors to get involved with that as possible.
Why don't you tell us a story about Gary Lake and Mayor Lawbaugh, how they figured into those goals that we had?
Sure. So pre-COVID, we were so, Gary Lake with the Y and then SUMA, they helped collaborate. And a few years ago, we were so close to meeting our goal. Mike Huth from SUMA and Gary Lake added their miles, and we made it. Last year, we've had a goal for 3 years now to reach 20,000 miles, and we were so close last year. And I messaged our wonderful mayor and asked, is there any way, we know you and your husband are avid walkers, so they have now become honorary members of our walking challenge. They saved the day and pushed us over 20,000 miles last year. So that was wonderful. And this program is great because whether a senior takes 5 days to make a mile because they're recovering from surgery, we have seniors out there walking multiple miles a day. Every mile counts. It's a group goal.
Imagine, Rich, you probably pretty excited about all the additions and all the improvements of Soprema. Where's the limit? Is there any limit? It's probably our imagination, isn't it?
Well, it really is. The limit is our imagination because we have such an incredibly supportive community. Whether it's the community supporting the Soprema Center, whether it's the community supporting the schools, we live in a tremendous city of support. And if something is a need, I am just very confident that if we have a need, that the community will step up and make it happen. And I always go back to, when we built this facility, 10 years ago, I just remember we had to pass a bond issue to make it happen. And it was really, really tough economic times. And, when you talk about a community that's just so incredibly supportive, we passed that bond issue without any problems during a really, really difficult economic time. And it just shows you that whatever we need, if we truly need it, I think this community will step up and make it happen.
Reminds me a little bit of the 5th and 6th grade building with COVID, right in the middle of COVID.
Yes.
Any parallels there?
Yeah, absolutely. If there's a need, they're going to step up. It's just always been that way. I see it obviously mostly on the school side because I see all the support that we get from the community, whether it's at our athletic events or at our band competitions or choir and our drama productions and all of that. We just get tremendous support from the community, and I think that's when you have a community like this, I think you can just get things done that need to get done.
Well, I learned a lot this morning. That's one of the reasons I do the show, Rich and Lori, and it's certainly a lot of things to celebrate here at Soprema. And again, if you're in the township or haven't joined yet, new to the community, we're inviting you to join and become a member of the Soprema Senior Center. This was Bruce on the Loose, and we did a show last week with the baseball team, and they did a great job getting to the regionals and just missed beating Walsh Jesuit. And Roger Wright, the retiring director of the Four Cities Educational Compact. Thanks for viewing.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.